So that brings me into my first question of the day then. Um, Basically, crypto versus stocks. Like, I know you started to go into a little bit what it is, but, why would I invest in one versus the other? Is there any reasoning behind it? Like, is there an advantage, do you think? Maybe because I know you were saying before, crypto sounds like it's, and I mean, I'm not naive. I guess it is newer out there compared
Mhm.
to some other stuff, but is it better to get in on a new company early on, or like, how do you feel about that?
So when it comes to the crypto world with the companies, they have a website, they have white papers, which essentially is just a document that explains their project. And some companies have a 50-page paper, some people have like 20, 30. So it really comes down to it. And the project is what explains it. So some companies will have their project or the token, and they'll say, hey, we want to help with the financial markets, or we want to implement better payment systems, or we want to be able to go into the medical field and things like that. There are some coins that are just meant to be that, like just utility. There's some where they want to be used as value. And then there's some called stable coin, which I just recently read. And essentially, a stable coin is a 1-to-1 ratio of a fiat currency, like the US dollar, the Japanese yen, so on and so forth. So there's different levels in the coin, and each coin does something different.
Okay. So then what do you prefer? Like if I'm somebody, let's say getting started and I've never done this before,
Okay.
where do you recommend me going? Do you recommend me starting with crypto? Do you recommend me starting with stocks? And what, like where,
Okay.
hear this stuff about penny stocks out there. Like where do you feel is a good place for somebody who has some discretionary cash and is looking to invest it?
So I'll answer it if I were to get a restart 1 year ago. If I was able to restart what I know now, stocks and crypto, they each have a pro and a con.
Yeah.
Stock market, they do obviously, it's by companies like Coca-Cola, Apple, index funds, things like that. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's going to come down to your risk tolerance and just your appetite. If you're somebody who can handle really high risk, you can do crypto like Bitcoin, Ethereum. Doge is that wild one, which I do have some, but that's a little bit longer story. You can handle those. If you do the stock market, if you just don't want to deal with all that pressure of, oh my gosh, is my money gone? There's nothing wrong with stock markets. Like I have shares of Tesla and I have the S&P 500 like through SPY. I have both and they each have a separate thing. What I would say to anybody who's never invested or don't even know what it is, read. I mean, reading is fundamental. Just even going on the Yahoo Finance, just learning how to understand what people talk about will put you ahead 5 years versus just saying, hey, my friend just bought Doge. Let me just throw $20 and see what happens.
Yeah.
That would
And
be my
also,
my advice.
yeah, and also the biggest difference between just stocks and crypto is how volatile
Mhm.
crypto is. Like if you listen, I always this is my first tip. I always tell people this: if you're planning to invest, first things first, pay off whatever you owe. And what I mean by that, I don't mean your 30-year loan of your house. I don't mean your car. I don't mean that. Like if you have credit card debt, take care of that. You have a any small debt that you're paying off, pay that off first. And then start looking that extra cash because now you have extra cash. You can either do two things. You can put extra money in your house to pay it off faster, or take that money and invest it in a company that you did research on, right? In stocks or crypto. Now, the biggest thing with crypto, because it's so volatile, is that let's say today you put in $100 and you buy a coin or something or some kind of crypto. That coin could drop down so fast and you'll lose those $100 if you don't have the patience for it. Put it this way, just real quick, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not gonna happen with crypto. Either way,
Mhm.
crypto or just stocks, it's not gonna happen. It's long-term investments. The only people that know how to make money quick are the people that's been around for a long time, or people that understand how the market moves. And that's a lot of research and years of things. So, quick story: the reason why I got Nate into it is because one day I'm at the break room. I see Nate with a notepad. Actually, no, he has this Surface, and I see this homework of this math problem, and only one math problem is taking him the whole page. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what are you studying? He's like, oh, I'm doing engineering and this and that. I'm like, shit, okay. And it always stood, and I used to always have questions about math because I love numbers and I love math. So when I finally got into like stocks, deep into it, and it also got into crypto, I'm like, Nate, I think this is a great thing for you since you know your numbers and since numbers is great for you. And that's how I got him into it. Just because he understands numbers, and because he understands how it all works. I'm like, you should look into this. I didn't approach anybody else. I directly went to him because I know he knows numbers. And I created a monster. Because
my degree was in aerospace engineering, but unfortunately I didn't get to finish it. So then I switched to IT. And yeah, he just showed me it, and I was like, whatever. Like when he showed me it, I was like, okay, I'll look into it. And then little by little between the stock market, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like this goes up, this goes down. Okay, this has dividends. Damn, like this thing has been up for a year. Okay. So then they were saying, oh, why don't you trade? Like learn how to make money off of it. And I was like, well, I mean, how hard can it be? It was really hard. I've lost some money. I'm not afraid to say I've lost cash. But it was funny because at that time I was studying calculus, and it went into it between derivatives and all that. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. These two work together. Let me keep going. And then I went into the stock market and I tried being a day trader. Kind of worked, kind of didn't. There was just so much psychological pressure on it. Like my friend just stated in the chat. I couldn't I was about to say every day. I was like, no, I can't deal with this. Like I'm done. So I took a break, and then I just kept looking into the crypto world. And I was like, I don't understand all these tokens, all these coins. I kept reading. And then one day between Messiah, my friends, it just hit me. And I was like, oh, whoa, hold up. This isn't a game anymore. We're not 2013, we're 2021. And what's about to happen is all these tokens and coins are going to push the entire world in a new direction. And then I was just reading it more into it. I'm learning more about blockchain, how that works, how the coding works, how some companies can get hacked into, which they had one from the Poly network. That was insane. And I just been reading every single day. Like Check Monster, bro, what's about to happen is no joke.
All right, I got to start sending me some articles and stuff then, because I got to start getting in on it. Because Lord knows I was going to buy in at a certain time with some crypto, and I didn't. I hesitated. Then I did buy into some, and I'm down. I'm down on that end. I'm up on my stock end, but I'm down on my crypto end because I did both. Right, as I made some major investments. I even had a reverse split just happen on me that they cashed me out, which pissed me off.
Dang.
I had GE. I had GE, and they went to a 8-to-1 shares reverse split.
Yeah.
So what happened was if you had 8 shares, they made it 1. So I guess I don't know. I thought I had 8 shares. Maybe I didn't. I had like 7.5. So they cashed me out and gave me my money. So I was a little pissed off about that whole thing. So, but what are you gonna do?
That's funny.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah. So yeah, but you can't go into it if you're afraid to lose money, though. I will say.
Yeah, that's also part of the experience, right? You have to, if you look into it, most investors do years of research before they actually start making money, right? I actually heard Warren Buffett make a speech about it, actually talk about it. And one of the things that he said that he used to do is he checks on everything. The CEO, background on CEO, background on the company, how long has it been out, before he even makes an initial investment. Now, you're talking about Warren Buffett. He makes billion-dollar investments or multi-million-dollar investments. So obviously he's going to look into those research. But those are the guys, like look how deep he gets into this. He usually goes to McDonald's and buys a breakfast. The amount of money of breakfast, the amount of money determines what type of breakfast he's going to get, right? So his wife gives him money to go. He goes to the drive-thru. He reads before he actually goes to go get his breakfast. He goes through the papers. He checks. If the market is down, he changes his option of what he's gonna get for breakfast. And you're talking about cents in what he changes. And you're like, damn, this guy's worth $40 billion, and that's the decision he makes when he's going through a McDonald's breakfast menu in the morning.
Hey man,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what it
crazy.
takes.
That's
That's what
how
I've been
important
doing.
it is to him. That's how important it is to him. If the
I
market is
used
up, he gets the regular
Mhm.
breakfast. If the market is down, he goes to the under the breakfast that he normally doesn't get, just to save the cents.
That's what you gotta do. Like I used a similar strategy with my crypto account. I would transfer like $50 or $100 into the account. Like just this week, I transferred 50, and I was like, man, I'm gonna take this 50 and I'm gonna buy this token, no questions asked. And I woke up with a horrible headache, and I was like, you know what? I could care less about this account today. And the coin I was tracking, it's a utility coin from crypto.com, the Creo coin, and it was just
Yeah.
exploding. And I was like, you know what? It's going up. I'll just deal with it later. I really don't care. And then I had a chance to just like relax and actually read yesterday. And I was like, oh, cool. Like it dropped a little bit. All right, now I'm gonna buy this coin. And then I spent my $50 on it, no questions asked. And then it kept going down again. And I was like, man, I should wait like 2 more minutes. But I didn't care.
That's how that's
'Cause
that's how
the
that
plan I
crypto
have with that
goes.
coin.
Yeah.
But that's what we
Yeah,
mean
and I
that
mean, I didn't
crypto is
care.
more
Like,
volatile.
Yeah. So I
yeah,
guess
and it was chill. Like, it went down a little bit. What happened? I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. You can finish.
Oh no, I was gonna say like each coin I have has a different plan and a different goal, kind of like my portfolio in the stock market. Like Dogecoin, I just spent like I think I spent like $100 or 200 in a few months ago, and I went up, it went super high. I could have cashed out when it reached all time high at the 70 cents. I didn't for whatever reason, and I'm still holding it. That's just whatever. Like I could care less. My big hitter is Ethereum. I have one whole Ethereum token that I've been holding ever since $1,600. And I mean, it's just been back and forth, back and forth. That has a different project. And then now with my other account, I actually have the other altcoins. Oh, an altcoin is just an alternative coin that's not Bitcoin. That's pretty much what it means.
Mhm.
That portfolio's job is to get as high as it can so I could transfer it to Bitcoin. That's all I needed to do. And then same thing with the stock market. I have the S&P tracker that just does this thing. I have my Tesla shares that does another job, and then I have another gamble in there that has another job. So they each have a role in what I needed to do.
So diversity is a very big key, right? So while
Yeah.
one sector, try to spread your money, where if one sector goes up, the other one sector goes down, the other sector goes up, and that's how they balance. That's how you balance your loss, right? You limit your loss.
Mhm.
So that same thing with crypto. But the thing is that with crypto right now is the biggest money maker right now. There's only three big names out there: Ethereum, Bitcoin, and I believe Litecoin. Right? They're the biggest ones. But there's up and coming.
Kind of.
Okay.
There's number 3 got changed. It got flipped to Cardano.
Oh yeah.
Actually.
So that's what I'm saying. I was gonna actually use Cardano as a up and coming, right? So Cardano's making this move up there. You also have Dogecoin, but Dogecoin is considered like a people's coin, right? The reason why it's considered a people's coin is it has a lot of backing from billionaires that people trust. Two examples would be Elon Musk and Mark Cuban. Those guys are backing up. They're on their Twitter like crypto this, crypto that. I mean, Dogecoin this, Dogecoin that coin just fluctuates like crazy. And I always say, man, the power these guys have. All they do is a mention, and the coin goes from like 23 cents to like 30 cents immediately, and people just like buying in, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It
No,
is.
for sure.
It's insane.
So it's not for the faint of heart.
No.
No,
I
it's
guess-
not. You have to really understand what you're doing. And sorry to cut you off, Shaq
No, you're
Monster.
good. You're good.
But what I tell all my friends, because they always tell me, oh, which coin should I buy? Should I do this? Should I do that? Listen, like this world is no joke. I'll tell you from personal experience, I remember putting in $2,000 on a coin, and that went down to 1,000 in 2 days. And I was like, okay.
That's exactly what happened
What
to
are
me.
we about to do?
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Me
Listen,
too,
I'm
bro.
down at least a G on a coin. I bought in when it where I was going to buy it in. I didn't do it, and then I hesitated, and then I got to the point where it looked like it was leveling out. I'm like, screw it, I'm going to buy in. The next day, I think it just plummeted, and it went back down to around the area that I was going to buy in originally. That's how bad it went down. And I lost half my money. But at that point, like all you can do is sit it out. Like, it's got to go back up at some point, right? Like,
what you're doing is called, there's a term we use on, I've been reading on Reddit a lot, and on Wall Street bets. It's called diamond hands. So I use that term a lot. When you basically just holding on to that shit, right? Because I also made investments on. I use Litecoin as a example. Litecoin, I was like, I kind of like this coin, man. This is not Ethereum, and it's not Bitcoin, and it has a good price point. I bought it when it was at peak. At that time, I bought 2 coins. I had to sell some of my stocks on Fidelity, just regular stocks. Just bought 2 coins, cost me $600 at $300 a piece.
Oh, I remember that conversation.
That shit was like, I was like, holy shit. It's like, damn. So I'm like, right now, I'm just holding on to that shit.
That's all
like,
it is.
Go up.
I know. I remember Messiah telling me that. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
This is insane. No, I mean, it's a crazy ride. And the way I'm viewing cryptocurrency is I'm not looking at it for the next 2 years. I'm trying to get to the next 10 years.
Yes.
Because there's a whole bunch of companies and countries out there. Like, for example, India is trying to make a digital rupee of their currency. China has their own issues with it. I don't really get into it too much. Japan is trying to, from what I remember. There's just a whole bunch of countries trying to get into this world, and it's only a matter of time before you do it. In terms of the whole world, one quote I read, I forgot where it was, but they were saying how when the internet was getting big around the 1990s, going to the 2000s, everybody was skeptic about it. But look where we are now. Everyone uses it. And they're saying history is trying to repeat itself with crypto.
The dot-com boom, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to repeat itself where at some point is going to happen where you have to use it regardless. So that's how I saw it. Then I read more into it. Sheikh Monster, what you want to read is stable coins. That's what you want to read more. I think you'll understand that a little bit easier than just like Bitcoin and all the gambles and all the penny coins, and or as they call it, the shit coins. Like if you read stable coins, you'll understand it a lot more. It'll be easier.
Written down. Let's go.
Yeah.